I, on behalf of Northeast Regional Institute of Education, NCERT, UMIAM, and the entire team of the Organizing Committee of National Council of Educational Research and Training, welcome you to the two-day National Seminar on Mathematics Education. Friends, the chief guest for the inaugural session, Professor Tarini Kumar Datta, former professor and head of mathematics, Guwahati University, is here with us this morning. Thank you, sir. May I now request Professor Subhash Chandra Roy, Dean of Instructions, NERIE, to kindly escort our guest of honor, Professor Anu Kumar Rajput, Head Department of Elementary Education, NCERT, New Delhi, to the dais. Also request Professor Balaida Dakhar, Dean Research, NERIE, and convener of the seminar, Mr. Arnab Sen, to be on the dais and take their respective seats. Thank you, everyone. And other forms of life. May the truth prevail. May the darkness of ignorance be swept away. Thank you. We will now offer floral tributes to the great Indian mathematician, late Srinivasa Ramanujan. As we celebrate his birthday,
Regional Institute of Education, NCERT, catered in each of northeastern state including Sikkim for school educations, and this institute was established in 1995 at Shillong and it shifted to this present campus in 2012. We have a mandate of NCERT, and according to that we having different in-service program, along with we have 2 years B.Ed course which is affiliated to Mega University. Besides, we have one diploma course in guidance and counseling, and also we are running courses in early childhood care. Through these seminars, for scholars, teachers and teacher education to deliberate and motivate each other to move forward in creating new means and methods of learning mathematics, to eliminate doubts and concern at the level of school education.
thank you. Thank you, sir.
Chief guest, Professor Tarini Kumar Datta, retired professor, Guwahati University. Today's guest of honor, Professor Anu Rajput, Head of the Department of Elementary Education, NCERT, New Delhi. Our Principal, Professor Vidyadhar Barthakur, Dean of Instruction, Professor Subhash Chandra Roy, Dean of Research, Balaida Dakhar, Head DSM, Dr. Brujayanti Devi, Head Department of Education, Dr. Floret Dakhar, all my colleagues and faculty members of the Institute. The seminar actually is in continuation of the earlier similar activities which NCERT is conducting in its different other constituent units. And with this seminar, a full cycle is completed now, because we are, this is the 6th seminar. Already 5 seminars have been conducted before.
Mathematics education, the health of mathematics education in this country has not been good. And I do not say this. The National Achievement Survey conducted by NCERT, the ASER report, the Pratham's report, the general perception of parents, teachers is that mathematics education is not in good health. And we have Right to Education Act, which believes that all children can learn mathematics and all students need to learn mathematics.
So, a huge country of 20 crore children, 8.5 million teachers, and around 2 lakh schools, we are not even able to produce around 6 children of age 15 to 17 years who can participate in International Mathematics Olympiad and can bring some gold medals to us. So this is not only in mathematics but in other subjects also the same status and position of India is. So it's a really a big time when you have to look back and to think what has happened, why are we not able to do those wonders which internationally children are doing, of very small countries children like say Taiwan, Vietnam, and they are performing very nicely. Some good experiments are going on like in Finland, in other countries also, particularly in terms of teaching learning processes. These seminars are taking place in the time when there is a rapid change in technology. Every month you will have a new mobile phone in your hand with better facilities.
That the mathematical education must be very strong in order to develop our country, in order to develop our society in the right direction or in the true sense of the spirit here. And for this purpose, whatever your area is, your area may be some arts area, or you may be from science, you may be from commerce, or you may be commerce law, or you may be medical science. But the basic idea, basic knowledge of mathematics are important for all the human beings. Because importance of the mathematical education has already been explained here. And now important thing is that, and why you need to change our syllabus very often. What is the necessity for this cause? And you will see that there are many things are going on. About 30 years ago or 20 years ago, knowledge is important. Our teachers imparted knowledge regarding mathematics knowledge, and that is very essential. Okay, knowledge is power. But nowadays knowledge is necessity, and in addition to the knowledge, we need to give a lot of things to our students. For example, say creativity. How to develop that creativity, creative idea in the mind of the students. What type of teaching is necessary for this purpose? The positive thinking. How we can bring the positive thinking in the mind of our students. Another important factor is that quick understanding and quick presentations. For example, say a mathematics problem is given to a students. If he allows of 5 minutes or 10 minutes, many students may give the appropriate answer. But give a problem to a student and you give just 1 minute. Then what is the process to give our teachings to our student within a very short time, within 1 minute, a problem can understand and he can present the problem in a right directions. How to develop the logical thinking, how to develop the analytical reasoning, how the leadership quality can be developed, how the very personality, towering personality can be developed. The original pair of the rabbits was born on January 1. They take a month to become mature, and so there is still only one pair on February 1. And this is the problem raised by Fibonacci. And this, what is the problem? Then what will be the solutions? If you describe the solution this way, then on March 1 there are 2 months old and produce a new mixed pair, a total of the 2 pairs, and continuing like this. If you go on this way, and then you will see that originally in January just only one pair is there, and after 1 month they become the matured. In February also just one pair, and in March after maturity they give the birth of a new pair, baby pair, and then old pair is there. Therefore in March total number of pair is 2, and in April and this pair become matured, and this pair gives a new baby, and this pair is still there, and therefore in April the number of pairs will be 3, and therefore if you go on this way by tackling the problems, then what will happen? In the month of January total number of pair is 1, in the February total number of pair is 1, in March total number of pair is 2, April total number of pair is 3, and if you go on this way, in December total numbers of pair will be 144. Fibonacci numbers, we take the Fibonacci number and we take the ratio, and this ratio converges to the 1.618. Therefore originally the 1.618 we have obtained by taking the ratio of the Fibonacci number. We consider a rectangle here. The rectangle is AB. We put a point C in such a way that if we divide AC by BC, it will be equal to 1.618. Or if we divide the whole length by suppose BC, and it is equal to 1.618. And then along the point, you consider a square here. You consider a square here. If you consider a square here, you remove the square, and geometrically we can prove, and there will be a new rectangle. Suppose HGBC is a new rectangle.
Today we are ready to start with more of intensive academic deliberations, and without wasting much time I would just I think we will get into the proceedings for the day. So I would request our principal, Professor Vidyadhar Bar Thakur, to kindly escort our keynote speaker for the day, Professor R. Ramanujam, to the dais please. Sir Ramanujam got his BE Honours in Electrical and Electronics Engineering from BITS Pilani and his PhD in Mathematical Foundations of Computer Science from Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai. After his postdoctoral research in New York, he has been at the Institute of Mathematical Sciences, Chennai, where he is currently professor.
Right? You know that you cannot get square root of 2, right? If you measure, what can you get? Let's use his meter tape. I can measure, maybe I can get second decimal. Use some atomic devices, you can measure up to 8 decimal places. Use nano technology, 9 decimal places. How are you going to measure up to 23 decimal places? Right? What does 23 decimal places even mean in terms of a measuring device, right? So that's, you're getting into territory which is not quite, because length as a concept, you need some measure theory or topology to actually mathematically make sense of. But a real number makes sense, right? So root 2 we claim is a number on the real line, right? It's there, right? So you have to point out to me, right? It's there. But I claim it doesn't exist, right? I claim there's no such thing. How would you argue with me and convince me that it exists? Right? Algebra demands that you learn procedures very well. Right? The moment I start, somebody says x squared, minus x minus 20 somewhere 5 and 4 factor into 20 and 5 minus 4 is 1. All this has to pop up into your head, right? At that moment you cannot be thinking of the graph of this, right? So at different purposes different things have to pop up. So we need an inseparable blend of the two, right? And for instance, thing is, when you hear an expression like this, what pops up into your head? And I think that's very important to realize that. When I say is linear in P, what does it mean? It's a cubic polynomial with leading coefficient 1/3. What should be coming into your head at that point? I say it vanishes when B equals C. Now these are all expressions from textbooks, right? At different points. Now they were just designing tents, right? So question is how much height you need for sleeping, lying flat or on your side. Can you make use of the whole floor space? And remember that you want to produce it in thousands. You have to be very economical. You can't be wasteful. And what is a reasonable height at the center? What should be the angle of the walls to achieve the height needed over much of the tent? Do you want a tent to fit the average person? What do you mean by average person? What is the average height of dimensions of a person in Chennai? Is there statistical data on that? What scale will you use for your diagrams and plan? And a range of curricular areas interconnected during the discussion, because there is handling data, analyzing body measurement data, and you can't slide in, right? You have to crawl into a tent. So how do you do? Then there were geometry, 3D shapes, 2D representations, nets and construction, angles, scale drawing, measurement, finding the lengths and areas to determine the materials required, quantities of fabric needed, lengths of poles, all this was needed, a lot of trigonometry was needed, and economics and optimization.
Curriculum and your analogy of the map for understanding the topography of the school curriculum was something which we all could identify with. Your ideas like allowing the children to make a guess as a tool for inspiring thinking, multiplication as repeated addition, the focus on blend of procedural and conceptual skill, as well as ways of, these were given as ways of schooling the mind to think mathematically, as well as your emphasis on shifting from the content to the process in the curriculum, which helps in engaging the child. These were very invaluable ideas for all of us.
Honorable Professor R. Ramanujam, Chief Guest for the second and final day of National Seminar on Mathematics Education, Professor Vidyadhar Thakur, Principal NERIE, Professor Subhash Chandra Roy, Dean Instruction, NERIE, Professor Anup Rajput, Head DEE NIE-NCERT, Professor Balaida Dakhar, Professor V.S. Prasad, Dr. Brajanti Devi, Head DSM, and all other colleagues from NERIE and the constituent units of NIE, the most valued dignitaries of the national seminar, and dear students. It is my privilege to have been asked to propose the vote of thanks on this occasion. Thanks for gracing the occasion and delivering the keynote address on a very important aspect, that is the mapping the school mathematics curriculum. Thank you all.